IHSA Football fan. I think it's morning now. I got to do this early because about 35 minutes early. I'm sorry about that. Time constraints right now, so I got to get this all done. So this is going to be episode 11 of Deep Dish Football Live, Round 2 IHSA Playoffs. Again, sorry for the confusion. I was supposed to do this at 6 o'clock, but I got so much task ahead of me, and I got to film another episode of DuPage Run and Shoot with my co-host Patrick Cotto tonight as well. So I'm trying to get everything done right now, so I do apologize. And if you don't know me, my name is Coach Big Pete, a.k.a. Peter Linewilber of DeepDishFootball.com. Make sure you follow Coach Big Pete and Deep Dish Football on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. My email is CoachBigPeteFP@gmail.com. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. My email, CoachBigPeteFP@gmail.com. CoachBigPeteFP@gmail.com. Breakfast with Coach Big Pete is every Sunday, 9 a.m. And DuPage Run Shoot is tonight with my co-host Patrick Cotto as we talk DuPage County football. And we'll talk a little bit more about Illinois football too as well. Follow DuPage Run Shoot on Twitter and Instagram as well. And just a quick reminder, by the way, class of 2025, the new recruiting questionnaire is out today. I'm looking for your information. Make sure you check out deepdishfootball.com and fill out the recruiting questionnaire, class of 2025, 2024, and 2023. If I already have your info, I do not need you guys to fill it out again. Just fill out the Deep Dish Football recruiting questionnaire, brand new version 5 for the classes of 2023, 2024, and 2025. Again, just a quick reminder that it is all out. And again, another quick reminder too, as we get into later into the playoffs and we get into the off season, I'll be doing an update. Someone asked him, am I going to be doing a recruiting signing show again? Yes, I will be doing a recruiting signing show again next month. I believe it's the third week. It's the third week of December. I will be doing it too. So just to make sure everyone knows, yes, I will be doing it again. All right, so let's get into it for round 2 IHSA Playoffs 2021, episode 11. And first, as always at the beginning, I want to comment on something a lot of people have asked me. And the big question was all-state teams. And all-state teams are starting to come out. The IHS, the Illinois football coaches, all-state team. So I got to explain this more. That's the only all-state team that a lot of people acknowledge. The other all-state teams people just laugh at. And I just want to give you guys a quick reminder. College coaches do not care about all-state teams. I'll repeat that again. College coaches do not care about all-state teams. They don't care. They don't care. They'll put it out in the Bible, but they don't care. What they actually care about, because they know that a lot of the all-state teams, a lot of all-state teams, again, you have to have a certain winning record to have players on that all-state team. You have to have a winning record, 1. 2, you got to be very political to coaches. And 3, it's the effing all-state team. It doesn't represent the full state of Illinois football. And again, it's very, very political. It's very, very, they do a good job. No doubt about it, they do a good job, but it's not going to help your kid get recruited. What helps your kid get recruited is actually all conference. All conference college coaches pay more attention to all conference than they do all state. All conference is basically you're getting your conference full of coaches and you're saying, who are the best players this season? And that helps out a lot. And that helps out a lot of college coaches. All-State this year, because of the spring and there was no playoffs, they let in some teams with losing records, kids, into that team. There won't be any in this year. It's all-state football, people. Just understand it. All-state does not mean your kid's going to get recruited. College coaches don't care about all-state. What they look at mostly is all conference. So Please understand that. So just to let you guys know. So because you get a lot of people. My son didn't get All State. What was your son's team's record? He was 2-7. He's not going to make All State. I'm sorry. I apologize, but he's not going to make All State. My son is. He broke the record. What was his record? He was 4-5. He's not going to make it. I'm sorry. So understand. A lot more college coaches look at all conference teams than they do at all states. So just want everyone to know that. So when all state team comes out, no one's burning houses down and saying, "Well, you guys are horrible." You got to understand the precedent of voting for an all-state team and the rules for voting for an all-state team too. So, and I mean the worst, the one of the worst was the Shriners game. Oh my God, the Shriners game. You talk about just putting me out of my misery. People getting angry at the Shriners organization of my kid didn't get announced as the Shriners game. He didn't do anything. Did your coach fill out the application? Oh, we had to fill out an application. Yes, you got to fill out an application. Your coach has to fill out an application. So come on. It's just pure craziness. It is what it is. What are you going to do? All right. So let's get to round 2 games of the week. First game. Sorry about that. Marquette versus Fulton, deep dish football game of the week. Really excited about this game. Fulton's defense that is doing an excellent job this season. They lost some pretty big games to Lena Winslow and to Dupac. I'm forgetting the third game that they lost to. It's killing me right now. Yeah, but they beat an El Rabi team that a lot of people thought were going to upset Fulton. Guess they didn't. And Fulton is now going to the second round, taking on the Ottawa Marquette team that's looking great. I just found out that their star fullback is back as well, Vinny, for Ottawa Marquette. I'm really excited about that. This team is looking good. And after that loss to Deer Creek, that Ottawa team's been on fire ever since. And they've played a tough Chicago Hope Academy team. And they've been scoring. They're one of the highest-scoring offenses for Class 1A. So, after that, we get into Forston versus Lena Winslow, who gets the winner of Marquette and Fulton. Congratulations, Marquette and Fulton. After the winner, you get either Lena Winslow or Forston. And Lena Winslow wants revenge after losing to Forston, and if I'm not mistaken, it was week 9, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong. But Lena Winslow wants revenge, and they're going to... My personal feeling is that they're going to get the revenge. You don't want to see what's the golden rule? You don't want to see your conference rival or conference opponent in the playoffs. It always spells bad luck for you, even if you beat them in the first week. That's just one of those weird things that always happens. Cesar Valier takes on Athens. Cesar Valier. I got to tell you right now, I know a lot of people are putting Athens as they're going to win this game. Keep an eye out. That Cesar Valier team's looking good, especially with that offense. So we'll see what happens. But Athens is a really good team. Really good team. Great passing attack, so it should be a good game. Merrill Forsyth versus Pana. Merrill Forsyth, they win this game. Watch out against a very tough Pana team's quarterback who's been absolutely putting magical numbers on the board. Great offense, and Pana's defensive line very impressive too as they take on Merrill Forsyth. Wilmington versus Sterling Newman Central Catholic. Huge game for Wilmington, facing another powerhouse in Sterling Newman. Again, the big thing for Wilmington is, can they open up that passing attack against Sterling Newman? We'll see. It's going to be an interesting game. Johnston City versus Mater Day. Johnston City Indians take on the Mater Day, and Mater Day again. They look unbelievable this season, and they won their first playoff game. So it'll be interesting as they take on Johnston City. And the big thing is, how do you stop those offensive playmakers of Johnston City? Corbin Hickey and of course Brown, and just those guys are unbelievable. And their quarterback too, Mater Day, they look good as well. They have a great offensive line, so it's going to be a good game. IC versus Dupac. Slow down, people of IC in DuPage County. Dupac's a good team. I think I think this game should be a little bit on an upset alert, and I'll eat crow for saying it. I think Dupac is a good team, and I think Dupac can upset IC. I know a lot of people are saying that IC is going to lose, that IC is going to win this game. It's going to be an absolute blowout, especially where I'm from, and I live next to by IC. It's just pure craziness, but there's a reason why Dupac is that damn good. So take it easy. Monticello versus Benton. Benton still rolling. Monticello good. They have had in the regular season a few games where they were supposed to win, but they lost. So it'll be very interesting as Monticello takes on Benton in 3A. St. Francis versus Genoa Kingston. Genoa Kingston, again, great offensive line. St. Francis, great defensive line. You got a battle of two linemen Goliaths heading against each other. This is going to be an excellent game. I'm excited for this game. And again, it's always the battle in the trenches, and that's always the most important thing in football. In this game, it's going to be important. And definitely we'll see the status of St. Francis in their passing attack, too. Phillips versus Quinoa. Bruno at quarterback, excellent, absolute stud. Tyler Turner Phillips, he's killing it. Definitely a big game. Can Phillips get the upset against the Boilermakers? That's going to be very interesting. Glenbard South versus Sycamore. Everyone's saying that Glenbard South is going to lose to Sycamore. I think Glenbard South is that good. I think this is going to be a magical year for Glenbard South. I think the big thing is how do you stop Eli Meyer, the quarterback of Sycamore. I think he's a hell of a player, so it will be very interesting as we get Sycamore versus Glenbard South. Kankakee versus Morgan Park. Morgan Park pulls off the big win over Peoria, and they take on a very tough Kankakee team who's been throwing up some great numbers. Coach Hart, like I said, is doing a wonderful job. Was the Week 9 Chicago Bears Coach of the Week. Big shout out to him, by the way, Coach Hart. It's going to be an important game, especially against Morgan Park's offense. Kankakee, it will basically, the big thing will be how do you stop that Morgan Park offense with Devon, I'm forgetting, Tyshawn Griffin, and all those guys. So it's going to be hard for Kankakee, basically. Again, you put up the major numbers early and get that game over with. That's the most important thing for Kankakee because if Morgan Park's still in that game, watch out. And Coach James has got that team playing lights out. Morris versus Morden. Morden Seth Glatz has had an unbelievable season as he takes on a tough Morris Redskin team that's unbelievable right now. Morris, again, the defensive lineman against that Morden running attack will be the big key matchup for round 2 IHSA playoffs. Next, upset alert. Upset alert. Upset alert. I will eat crow if I'm wrong. Lamont taking on Springfield. I think Springfield has a good shot to upset Lamont. I think Springfield has a good shot. Don't sleep on Springfield High School. I'm telling you that right now. I know a lot of people are saying, well, Lamont's going to absolutely crush Springfield. Look what their defense, look what their Springfield's defense did. They allowed that many points, over 70 points against Rock Island. Take it easy. I'm telling you right now, Springfield, Rashad Rochelle, that offensive line, I think Springfield's defense is going to play a lot better than they did last week. Definitely a game to watch. Lamont, again, good line, good spit was actually a pretty good line, offensive line. The big thing will be how do they counter Springfield's speed. That's going to be very interesting and an interesting game. Batavia versus Mount Carmel, the big game in the state of Illinois that everyone's been talking about. Batavia goes against Mount Carmel, and again, it's pretty much an even playing field right now between both teams. I see if this game was at Batavia, I'd give Batavia the slightest little favor. But this game is being played at Mount Carmel. This game is on a level playing field. I won't be surprised by either outcome. Won't be surprised. And for Batavia, again, Ryan Bowe, this has got to be Ryan Bowe's postseason, playoffs. He's got to control this game against a tough Mount Carmel Caravan. On the other side of the ball for Mount Carmel Caravan, stop that run and get those turnovers. And I think that they preach that a lot at Mount Carmel Caravan football, no doubt about that. Wheaton North versus Hoffman Estates. Hoffman Estates, they had a tough game that a lot of people weren't expecting against Ford Fractional South. And they play now a tough Wheaton North team. And again, Aiden Creer is going to be big in that game for Hoffman Estates and Wheaton North. Mark Ferrucci, that offensive line, that defensive line, they got to put pressure on Aiden Creer of Hoffman Estates. Next game, Moline versus Willowbrook. Moline is looking absolutely great after that first loss. It was the Bennett Academy, if I'm not mistaken. This is going to be a huge game as they take on Willowbrook. And again, Willowbrook's offense is firing on all pistons, people. They're that good. I think the big thing for it is disrupt for Moline and their offense. They got to start. They have to put up points early and often. Next, deep dish football overtime game of the week: Normal versus Jacobs. And I got to say, I am very impressed with Jacobs football. Their ability to fight in the Fox Valley Conference, to not give up, to fight Prairie Ridge. They almost beat Prairie Ridge. They fought Cary Grove good as well. They beat Crystal Lake South in the first thing. I think the big loss for me was when they lost to Crystal Lake Central. But they've done an exceptional job, Jacobs. Coach Zimmerman, he has done a hell of a job with the Golden Eagles. He was one of my nominees for Coach of the Year in the state of Illinois. And they're looking really good. Good run attack, good solid offensive line against small, but deadly. Don't knock you on your ass. So definitely going to be a huge game. And on normal side, you got Mackey at quarterback, who's an absolute star. Great offensive line, great size on offensive line, good seniority too, and a good defense too with Moss at safety. He can play at whatever spot. He just got offered by Illinois State, if I'm not mistaken, so he is an absolute star. Manuka versus Lincoln Way East. And we get, I think this, yes, we get into 8A. And there's not that many small school games that are big this week. So I'm expecting a lot of times of me eating crow. But I'm just not expecting that many small school big games for round 2 IHSA playoffs. But Manuka versus Lincoln Way East. And the big thing for Manuka is how can they stop that running attack of Lincoln Way East? And again, you got to stop Jack Tremblay of Lincoln Way East, the wide receiver. For Lincoln Way East against Manuka, don't make any mistakes. You can't make mistakes against Manuka. Manuka will capitalize on your mistakes. They've always done that. They've done it for a lot of seasons, so it'll be a good game. Lockport versus Glenbard West. Big game right now between Lockport and Glenbard West. This is the big second round game. Usually flash in the pans, miracle seasons, as you say, surprise seasons, or it hasn't happened in a long time seasons, is always basically in the second round they usually lose. And it'll be very interesting as we see Lockport take on Glenbard West. Again, Glenbard West, I think the big thing was they got out Glenbard West when they placed Hinsdale Central in the first week, but Glenbard West bounced back with the win in the first round. With Lockport, again, release their quarterback. The kid's an absolute stud, and the passing attack it will be huge against the Glenbard West. And a lot of teams have tried to do it and failed in many, many weeks and many, many years against Glenbard West. But the big thing for Lockport will be that passing attack. And for Glenbard West, again, stick to that game plan. Again, tough physical football, and stop getting, what's the word? Stop getting too smart for your own good when you pass the ball. Keep it simple. Simple as that. It's going to be a good game as we get to Friday and Saturday. Hinsdale Central versus Glenbrook South. Wow. Battle of two great defenses. Again, another even playing game. And I'm really impressed with Hinsdale Central. Their quarterback and their passing attack. They've impressed me for the past 3 weeks. And I'm got to say, it's going to be a great game as they take on Glenbrook South. In the last game, Warren Township versus Glenbard North. as they take on the Glenbar North Panthers. Warren Township defense looking strong. They had a tough week in week 9. They bounced back. Coach McNulty, he's hungry for a state title. So is that team. Glenbar North, they go to Bolingbrook. They go to Bolingbrook. They win the game. I think a lot of people were very impressed with Glenbar North, and I think like the three teams that people that need to be talked about more were Geneva, Glenbar North, and Jacobs, because those 3 teams have had an unbelievable run. And I know Geneva's playing St. Rita, but I don't think that's going to be much of a game. And I know people are going to quote this: if you need me to motivate you, go ahead, go crazy, play this clip and all that other stuff. And he picked against us. So you guys can use the motivation factor. There you go. If you have any questions, feel free to ask on the Deep Dish Football Facebook page. And there are currently no questions. I'll give this about 2 more minutes. If you have any questions, and again, sorry for the rush. Everything had to be quick today because I got a busy schedule tonight. So please, if you have any questions, feel free to ask on the Deep Dish Football page. And again, sorry for the quickness of this, but I realized that I had to help go move some things tonight, and I did not know that until about 45 minutes ago. No, about an hour ago. Yeah. Fun times. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. And again, my name is Coach Big Pete, a.k.a. Peter Liner. Make sure you follow Coach Big Pete and Deep Dish Football on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. If you like my work, feel free to leave a tip/donation via PayPal link below. And again, the Deep Dish Football Recruiting Questionnaire version 5 is out for the class of 2025, 2024, and 2023. Just came out today, published. Make sure you fill it out. If I don't have your information, make sure I have your information. If I have your information, you guys do not need to fill it out. But if I don't have your information, especially the class of 2025, make sure you fill out the recruiting questionnaire and make sure I get your info. It's on deepdishfootball.com. You can also fill it. It says a questionnaire on top, or you can see it go down the blog, and the first post that you see will be the Deep Dish Football Recruiting Questionnaire. Any other questions? Let's go down for a little bit. Let's go Reed Custer. I think Reed Custer is going to have a good game against Clark. And again, big shout out to Clark. They deserve a huge shout out for what they've been doing. But I just feel that Reed Custer is going to be just too strong against Clark. That's my personal feeling. All right. Any other questions? And it looks like we have no questions. That makes my job a lot easier. Thank you guys so much. Do Page Run Shoot Show coming out later tonight. Make sure you follow Coach Big P and Deep Dish Football on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. My email is coachbigpfp@gmail.com. And Do Page Run Shoot Show probably coming out like 9 p.m., 9:15, 9:30 p.m., 10 p.m., whenever it loads correctly. But I will see you guys, and now I'm going to get ready to move some furniture. Thank you guys so much, and have a lovely night. Enjoy round 2 playoff football.